Hello everybody, it's Dylan Couto, the supernatural detective. I'm here in Gardner, Massachusetts at the S.P.E.C.E. Haunted Victorian Mansion. Signed up to come for like a 3-hour paranormal investigation today. One of Massachusetts' most haunted places. I'll be here from 3 to 6 today. God, this place seems pretty spooky. It was built by Sylvester K. Pierce in 1973 and concluded being built in 1875. 75, and over the years there's been some murders and other things here. You can see it's right behind me. Gives off some of the Addams Family vibes, along with vibes from Hill House. Ooh. This is where I'll be coming today. Like I said, I'll be here for 3 hours, so certainly be worth it. Certainly be worth it. Well, come on, guys, I'll give you one last look. Yep. So there's no telling what else we'll find inside. I know other paranormal enthusiasts been here over the years and have claimed to have quite an experience. This place seems a bit bigger than the Lizzie Borden house. Yep. Well, I'll see you guys inside, and wish me luck today. Another supernatural adventure with Dylan Couto. See all of you very soon in the S.P.E.C.E. Mansion.
That's how we find things. That's how we see things. Okay? The room we're standing in here is probably the most remodeled room of the house. At one point, you could stand in the basement and look all the way up to the ceiling. So we've done a lot of remodeling. But I do want to point out, all of the woodwork in the house is still original to the home. This home was abandoned for almost 30 years because the owners that had it at the time couldn't live here because of the paranormal experiences they were having. But everything's real. If you look at the hinges on the door, Mr. Pierce had all those custom stamped. So he started construction on the house in 1863. Took about 3 years to complete. The first thing they had to do was move a house that was here. They had to lift a house and move it down the street, and it's still here. It's on the other side of this house right here. It's a gray, got a blue door, so if you're driving, look down there. We'll also be leaving while it's still plenty light out. So if you drive down this road here, and you'll go over a bridge, there'll be cemeteries. Take a right, you go down. Mr. Pierce has got a big grave on the cemetery on the right side, so you can go see his tombstone. So it took about 3 years for them to construct this. This is a second Empire Victorian with a mansard roof. And we're going to learn along the way that Mr. Pierce was very forward-thinking and very smart, and he was very particular about how he wanted things, and he wanted that mansard roof. But we'll explain that. The doors you came in here is the servants' entrance, and we're going to talk a lot about architecture and how we know things. So let's head right into this area here. So each of these doors are over 9 feet tall. Each side is over 200 pounds each. You can see I haven't walked in because people will be walking in. You can see how thick these doors are. All custom made. We know that these were the servants' entrance for a couple of reasons. One is how the layout of this door right here can be shut, those double doors can be shut, and the two doors in the kitchen can be shut. So this area gets completely blocked off. So if Mr. Pierce was having guests, they wouldn't see any of the servants working. The other way we can tell is if we look at the main staircase, and we look at this staircase here, you can see two totally different, I saw that, two totally different designs, right? This is a lot more narrow, it's plainer. That was a little bit more grand, more wide, right? So that was a master staircase. This was definitely used for servants here to move up and down throughout the house. The two front doors are Mr. Pierce's front doors of the house. He used those doors. And any of the owners that have had throughout the over 150 years of the home have never used the front doors. Everyone has always used these side doors. And we like to think that those are Mr. Pierce's doors and that he's the only one that should be using those. So, servants area right here. Come on in here. Careful for the ball on the floor.
Yep, so far I'm inside with the tour.
I love that wallpaper.
You feel it, feel it. It's
I
absolutely
know.
gorgeous.
It
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
So we're gonna talk about a bunch of different people throughout the duration of our walk. We're gonna talk about the Pierce family and the people that lived here in the home. We're gonna talk about all the owners. So some of the owners were Jay and Jane Stemmerman. They were actually the first people to buy the house from the Pierces directly. After that, it was Mark Vo and his wife. And Mark Vo was a radio broadcaster out in Boston, and him and his wife bought this house in complete disrepair and started to do some of the renovations. They had it for a short time. They sold it to Edward and Lillian. Edward and Lillian probably had the majority of the paranormal experiences while living in the house. They were the last ones to actually live in the house, and they left it abandoned for quite some time. Eventually they sold it to a gentleman by the name of Rob Conti, and Rob Conti owned Carnival down in New Jersey. He bought the house sight unseen. He only came up here for a period of 5 days to interview the staff, and then he never returned. But he invested the money to get the house to the condition that it's in today. Yeah, I don't even think he ever came up to see the final. He just operated it from down there. And then just this last year, he eventually sold it to our new owners, Rob and John, Rob Gilman and John Gardner. Rob is a local kid, grew up here in Gardner, was very familiar with the house, and John is his business partner. So we're going to talk a little bit about them throughout the tour. Mostly Mark Vo and Edwin and Lillian, because they have the majority of paranormal experiences here in the house. So I also want to talk a little bit about architecture in this room. So we're standing in what is the men's parlor. So this is where Mr. Pierce, right here, would have entertained his guests. Right above us is his master bedroom. And right above that is his billiards room. So he took this whole corner of the house. Very strategic on his part, because if you look across the street, that gray building, that was his shop. So if you look on this, and when we're on our free time, we can look more, but the small picture on the upper right is a drawing, because there was no photography back then, but that's what the shop was. The big Victorian style on the left is what Mr. Pierce built it up to be. It was 4 stories tall. Actually, it was full basement there. The huge fire, and it was rebuilt to what we see today. They still make chairs over there. That's called standard chair in Gardner. As a matter of fact, these 2 chairs right here, they made for us. They put the S.P.E.C.E.A emblem on them for us. But that's what they do. They do ceremonial type chairs over there, spindle chairs. So if colleges or municipalities are gifting a chair to someone, they're made right there.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yep. A few interesting pieces in here. We have that rocker there, and that rocker that's holding the picture up there. Those are original Mr. Pierce chairs. And we know they are because we can look at the bottom and see a stamp. So one thing that Rob and John, our new owners, have been really working hard to do is bring Mr. Pierce's legacy back to the home. So you can see, let me turn it this way. You can see right there, S.K. Pierce Gardner with a number. So this was made across the street in the mid to late 1800s. Very old chair. There are two types of stamps out there that we've discovered. There's the S.K.P.E.A. Gardner stamps, but then there are also S.K.P.E.A. Brooklyn stamps. And that was a way for all of the chair manufacturers here in Gardner. They would lease office space down in New York City because that would help their distribution channels. Right? They can only distribute so far here in Mass, so they would have office space down there and they would expand and grow their empires from there. Now, Mr. Pierce was obviously a very successful businessman. He was a key factor in Gardner becoming the chair city capital of the world. At one point, there was over 4 million chairs being distributed from Gardner annually. Mr. Pierce was responsible for roughly around 850,000 chairs his shop was producing annually in its heyday, not right when he first started. But because of his prominence and his business connections, he was also very involved in Freemasonry. And so in the 1800s, Freemasonry was very much a secret society, not as open as it is today. There were some really qualifying things you needed to be a Mason. You either had to be very wealthy, you either had to be a politician or have political pull, and you had to be a white man. And so he fit the three of those things. So he did a lot of things in the house to bolster his Freemasonry brotherhood. And a lot of the people that came to visit the house over the years were also Freemasons. And so a couple examples are, this is Calvin Coolidge here. Calvin Coolidge was a senator in Massachusetts before he was a president, and he was also a Mason, and he would be known to come out here and talk with Mr. Pierce. Once he got his presidency, he didn't come here as much. We think that is because he didn't want to be associated with some of the things happening here in the home at the time. This is P.T. Barnum from Barnum and Bailey Circus. Again, him and P.T. were very good friends, and whenever the circus was up in this area, he would stay here in the house. Over here we have Norman Rockwell in Minnesota Fats. Norman Rockwell is a Massachusetts man. He's a Western Mass guy. That's where he was born and raised. That's where his museum is. But he was known to come out to Gardner and stay here. We don't know if he painted anything of the mansion. The museum said it's not out of the ordinary. They just don't have anything in their collection. But he would come and stay, and Minnesota Fats would come and play pool with Mr. Pierce and cards and gamble up on the third floor. The third picture kind of sticks out, right, because it's not a man. That's Betty Davis. She was a movie star in the early 1900s. Now, Mr. Pierce died in 1888, but his legacy with her was deep. She was a woman of the Eastern Star, which is the women's faction of Freemasonry. And so she was very involved politically. She obviously had a lot of pull because she had a lot of money. She grew up in Lowell, Mass. She went to school right down the street here at Ashburnham, Mass. And she would visit here. She had a summer cottage out in Petersham. So very well known. Of course, we got a picture of Jason Hawes, who comes here often. He's a good friend of the house. And this is his daughter, Satori, and her husband, Cody. They come here quite a bit as well. Over here we have some more of the paranormal type photos. So here's the bone we're going to talk about down in the basement, if you're ever familiar. Did anyone read Bones in the Basement? Mm-hmm. No? You read Bones in the Basement? Good. That's the bone right there. So we'll talk about that. This was the house, what the house looked like in the 90s. It was this yellow color that was called Purdy Yellow. That was the name of the color. And the Stemmermans, who bought the house from the Pierce family direct, they had a cat and they named their cat Purdy after the color of the home. But the house wasn't originally yellow, it was actually white. You can see there on the photo. It actually had a nice, beautiful concrete fence around, and you can still see the granite base to that out there. That's not part of the sidewalk, that was actually part of Mr. Pierce's fence. So. And then we'll talk about more of the paranormal. There's a couple of children, we believe, in the house. One of them is Rachel. Rachel died in the home when she was 2. She had the flu. She was a granddaughter of Mr. Pierce. And then the little boy standing behind her is Gordon. You can kind of see the little boy here, is 2 up at the top of the stairs. Gordon didn't belong to the family, had no connection with the family. He died in the pond right down the road, but the house has 2 portals. So we believe he came in with a portal and decided to stay in the house. Gordon's very active. I'll tell you some stories about Gordon. And then this is Ken and Mimi. Mimi is one of our tour guides. She's a head witch up in Salem. That's her husband Ken. They did the remodeling for Rob Conti. So they did 90% of it, except they would bring in contractors, plumbing and things like that. But Ken unfortunately passed right before the project was complete, but we brought some of his ashes here, so he's part of the home. They're hidden in the house somewhere. But Mimi's still a tour guide here. She comes down when she can and does some tours. Come into this room. So we're going to see about 72 windows, 54 doors, 6 staircases, and 4 fireplaces in the house. The first one we saw was in Mr. Pierce's room. That was black slate. This is the only one that looks like this. This is marble. So when Mr. Pierce first bought the shop from Stephen Taylor when he was 25 years, he also did another big event that year. He married his first wife, Susan. And Susan, they were in love. They were married for a long time. But Susan was a status hire for marriage for Mr. Pierce. Susan's family had not only deep roots to this community as a whole, her family were also chairmakers, but Susan's lineage dates back to one of the earlier settlers coming off of the Mayflower. So she had her family had rich history here in Massachusetts. As I said, they started building in 1863. They moved in December of 1865. Horrible time to move in New England. And Susan passed upstairs 2 weeks later. She had a bacterial infection, and she only got to enjoy her home for two weeks, and she passed upstairs. But this was supposed to be her room. Mr. Pierce put a beautiful marble fireplace in here for her. She was going to entertain in here. Just didn't happen. He mourned for about a year, and then met, let me back up, sorry. Susan and Mr. Pierce had one son, Frank. And so when they moved into the house, Frank was 23 years old. So they had been married for some time. A year after her passing, he met Ellen, and he married Ellen and had 2 boys with Ellen. That was Stuart and Edward. This is a picture of Stuart here. We don't have a picture of Edward. We're trying to find one. Didn't go well with Frank. She was only 9 years older than Frank, so big age gap relationship. But Mr. Pierce and her were in love. They actually got married in the church up the street. Her family was from the Brookfields, which I don't know. You guys are from the South Coast, so I don't know if you know where the Brookfields are, but they're west of here, southwest of here. So she moved up here, had her two sons, and raised them here in this house. And so this became her room. Not only was this room hers for entertaining, but this is also where they would wake people. So back in the day when someone would die, there was no funeral homes. You would wake people in your home and have people come in and pay their respects. And so they would put caskets here in the window, and people could come in the doors and pay their respects and move on. This is the original dumbwaiter. Now, Mr. Pierce obviously was very wealthy. He had a whole staff of servants that worked for him. So this was the dumbwaiter system that was in the house, the original one. We made a replica based off of what that looks like, what we thought it was like, so 2 levels to it. And that would go from the basement all the way up to the 2nd floor, that dumbwaiter. And you'll see we have some clothing hanging up. There's a burlap sack upstairs hanging up on the wall. Those were found in the walls, and it was very common for people to use old clothes in the walls for insulation. And so that's where those were found. So Mr. Pierce, again, very much ahead of his time. In this house, it was 1863, so people were using either kerosene lamps or candles still in their homes. Mr. Pierce didn't want that. He probably ended up having to use it, but he actually had gas lighting, and this is one of the original lights that Mr. Pierce would have had in the house here. It's the only original light in the house. We've converted it, so now that it's electric, but this was a gas light. And it's a very soft light bulb in there. If I was to turn these lights off, it would still be pretty dark in here. They didn't give off much light, so he probably still had lamps and things like that. This archway is the only piece in the house that Mr. Pierce carved himself. He had everything else done by his construction crews, but he carved this himself. This center up here is representatory of masonry, Freemasonry. So you see the sword in the center. That's for protection. Even to this day, when the Masons are in ceremony in their lodges, there's always someone that stands outside the closed doors with a sword. So that still happens today. The rest of the face was supposed to be representative of a lion, and the lion represents strength and resilience in Freemasonry. And one thing that we found throughout all of the hundreds of paranormal teams that have come through this house is what we call the lion's roar. And I'll show you a picture of it, or a video, I should say, not a picture. So to preface this picture, when Edwin and Lillian lived here in the home, this room behind us over here would have been their living room. And they tell a story about sitting on the couch one night watching TV, and it sounded like all the dishes in their pantry were falling out, like a shelf broke loose, and the plates were just crashing down. And they both jumped up off the couch, went into the pantry, and nothing had moved, nothing had changed. But they both physically heard that noise. And so we think we captured that one night using this little camera right here. It was very dark out. You know it's dark because you'll see lights from cars driving by. Let me just make sure my volume is here. I do this every time. And so you're going to hear what sounds like something just being either thrown down the stairs or crashing somewhere in the house. There was no one home. And then right after that, you hear that lion roar. You can come closer so you can see what it's like. You can see this dark outside, you can see cars, there's no one in the house. And when we came in the next day, there was nothing, no damage anywhere. So, when the Stemmermans owned the house, they had an auctioneer come in because a lot of the Pierce family stuff was still here. And then the auctioneer came in and sold off a bunch of the furniture and things that were in the house. The auctioneer himself had a very keen eye, and they took with them a couple of key pieces, one of them being the topper to the newel post. That's not the original, that's a replica. The original was actually gold. There's a picture of it here on the mantle, piano, sorry. They took that with them. When they took that off of the newel post, they discovered the original blueprints to the home were in the newel post, which was a very common place to store those. They took those with them, so we no longer have them. And then they also took Mr. Pierce's pool table on the 3rd floor. And they ended up selling the pool table for more than the house sold. So it was very, very beautiful, and we have a picture of that upstairs. This is Victoria Ellen up here. Don't be spooked by her. She was a gift to the house. She's my favorite. We're actually going to take a picture with her at the end of our investigation. So the 3 years, this is Mr. Pierce's dining room. This is where he would entertain guests during dinner. I still have a couple, those are both Pierce chairs over there in the corner. A couple of variations. We saw 2 rockers. One of them, the one on wheels, would have been more like an office chair, and then that would have been more like a dining room table chair there. So yeah, this was where he would dine, and you can see here, door, so closed off. They couldn't see the servants working in the back. We're going to walk through the butler's pantry here. Mr. Pierce was very social, and he loved conversation. And when his guests were in the house, they were the most important thing in the house at that time, and he didn't want any interruption. So we know that Mr. Pierce always sat here. While this was not the original table, we know he always sat here because under the rug in the floor, there's a little button, and it goes to the bell system. So he never had to have a break in conversation. He would just let his guests talk, and he could converse, and when it was time to bring a plate or remove a course from the table, he would just hit that bell, and his servants would come, tap it with his foot. So there was never any break in conversation. I mentioned when Edwin and Lillian lived here, this was their living room. It actually ended up becoming their bedroom. They got to the point where they refused to go to the second or third floor. They wouldn't go up there. They only lived on the first floor. But when they first moved in, they were settling in, and the neighbors next door came over to welcome them to the neighborhood. And so they said, once you're settled in, let us know, because our son would love to play with your son. And Edward and Lillian said, well, we don't have any children. And they said, oh, no, our son was waving to your little boy here in the window right here. And so they brought them in, they showed them around the house. There was no children anywhere. But the neighbors were adamant that their son was waving to a little boy in this window right here. And so we believe that to be Gordon. Gordon likes to bump around into the windows. I have another picture of him, I believe, on the third floor, showing when we get up there. We're gonna walk through here. This is the pantry. And then the next room over is going to be the butler's pantry. And in the middle, you can see it's open right now. That's where the dumbwaiter would have been.
All goes to Gordon made contact with a little kid. It's interesting.
And you see here a hole in the wall. That's just not something we haven't fixed. There was a speaker system into the house. It would look like the horn of a trumpet right here. And Mr. Pierce, in the morning, he could talk to the head nanny of the house, and he could talk to the servants working here in the kitchen to let them know that he was up and he was ready. He could talk to one more person, and that was his butler that lived on the third floor. So that's how this system went. So you'll see some rooms that just have one, but Mr. Pierce's room actually has two, which doesn't make sense because he could talk to three areas. So we don't know which one goes where, but that would have been right there. Now we're talking about the 1800s. There's no refrigeration, right? So Mr. Pierce would have ice delivered to the house a couple times a week, and it would go right here in this ice chest, and that's where he would keep all of his milk or whatever he needed to keep cold down there. Again, ahead of his time, Mr. Pierce collected rainwater on the third floor in a massive cistern, and he would control it through the house. So he would have running water in his bathroom and the sinks here, and then it would trickle down to the basement into another cistern where the servants could use it for cooking and cleaning. The ice was strategically placed here and not in the kitchen because this is directly over the basement cistern. So when the ice melted, it didn't just go onto the floor, it went down into the cistern system. So very smart on his part. And now we're gonna go to the basement. I did turn the lights on for you. We'll turn them off.
To the basement.
Let's still stay light down. You remember where to go, right?
I'll go first.
Down and straight. Yeah.
Well, to the basement. Let's see how many dead bodies we find out.
That's
I
all.
love that
I
wallpaper.
know. Rob put a lot of money into the house.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, so I mentioned that the first thing his engineers and contractors had to do was pick up and move a house that was already on this lot. This is the foundation for that house right here, the original foundation. So it's very long and narrow, go all the way down. Again, I told you that house exists today. The interesting part about that house is the house itself was not owned by Mr. Pierce, but now where he moved it was directly in front of where his carriage house was. And we might be able to get a glimpse of it outside. But this door down here would go out so bring them right to the horse barn and the carriage house. But this was the original home. Servant stairs right here go up to the kitchen. So anything on the outsides is what Mr. Pierce added on. That would have been his root cellar over there. He would have kept any jarred goods, dry goods right over there. Here is where he would butcher. So this is the original butcher hook and blood drain right there. Right, so they're butchering their own animals down here to cook. And the slop sink wasn't there. We'll come in here. This was actually a residential room in here. Just don't go right against the light because it will go on. That's part of the French drain system. This was a residential room in here. This was David's room. David was the groundskeeper, and so he would live down here most of the year. Aside from taking care of the outside grounds and probably stuff in the barn and the carriage house, he was also responsible for shoveling coal into the furnace in the winter. He actually had a very warm space down here. We have a picture of what we believe to be David. We had a paranormal team come in one night, and they came in late. It was already dark, and there was two of them. They came right down. They set up in this room, and they were standing right here, and they just snapped a picture going this way, and it was just like me and you standing here. That's where they were. They were just standing, and underneath that, they captured this massive shadow of a person. Right there. Oh. Looking right back at him. Yep. Oh, I feel bad you.
Let me know if you're
Yeah.
hiring.
Yeah. Mr. Pierce's shop is directly across from us, so that if that helps you stay oriented, right above us is his yep. The men's parlor. Yep.
This room.
Yep, right above us. In this next room, he had a tunnel that would go to his shop. So he could move to and from his shop without having to go outside. They also used the shop to move people in and out of the house without the community people seeing that. So good use of tunnel, bad use of tunnel. It's blocked up now. The city, when they were doing some road work, caved it in, but it would have been right here. Would have went right across. As a matter of fact, the front sidewalk to the house that leads up to the house is the roof cap of the tunnel. So this room is where I like to talk a little bit about when we do some investigating. So investigations are like 98% disappointment and then 2% sheer terror when you find something, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that, because what we do when we are investigating, and if it happens today, we try to debunk. We try to figure out a rational reason for what we're seeing and how it could be happening. So I have this video here if you want to come in. So you're going to see two lights in this video. You're going to see a light on the door, then you see a light in the room we just came from. Light on the door, right. We took this at night. It was caught on one of those little light cameras we had here. So the first thing we did was the very next night we came back and we tried to start debunking, right? So we started with the room we saw in the back, because we had a pretty good idea based on how the window layout is that that was probably a traffic light. And sure enough, we were able to recreate the light, no problem. This light on the door, however, we came every which way. We were pulling into this parking lot, pulling out of it, coming up, high beams, low beams, swerving. We couldn't make this light on that door. So then we took that, we froze it. So there's the frozen image of that light. Yep. If I can just zoom in, there's a face right there manifesting out of the light. So we're hoping to catch some of that today. Basic room, this would have been storage. The house did go on the historical registry in 2022. So any modifications we make to the house now are obviously under scrutiny and have to be reflective and representative of what Mr. Pierce would have done. These bars on the window are a good example of that. These weren't here originally. Mr. Pierce didn't have them on, but this is how kids were breaking into the house. And so we put those on there. All right. Page attention to the size of this barrel here. All right, we will be doing some investigating in this room. You know about this room?
Mom was very adamant coming here
Yeah,
because I just turned 16.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so this is the kiln room, or also known as the cooking room. This was a very busy room when the Pierce family owned this house. All of the cooking would have been done in this room. There would have been a fire here. They would have cooked all of the meat. There would have been some sinks and things over there. When Edwin and Lillian owned the house, they had a washer dryer hookup right there. Lillian tells a story about one morning waking up and just being very compelled to come down to this room and dig in this kiln, which was just filled with years and years worth of dirt and soot. And so she came down and started digging, and Edwin slept late. They were night owls. He worked from home. They would stay up late, and so he woke up, did a quick walk around the house. He didn't see her, thought she maybe left to go to the store, went to his home office, started working. A couple hours goes by, he's like, yeah, I haven't seen her. And so we did a deeper walk around the house. He came down, she was down here, hunched over, just covered in soot and dirt, stuff all over. And she just looked at him and said, go away. And so he went back upstairs to work. And then a few hours later, she came up and she had that bone. And so they didn't know what to think about it. They said, well, it was a cooking fire at one point. It could be, an animal bone from something they were cooking, or maybe something died in there. The house was abandoned for 30 years. Edwin said, I'll bring it to my doctors with me. I'll just let them see it. And so brought it to the doctors. They took it out of the room. The doctor came back, said, we need to know where you got this. Edwin explained the story again, how his wife was digging in the basement and found it. And the doctor's like, all right, well, we believe this to be a partial hip bone of a 15, 16-year-old girl based off of its shape, dimension, whatnot. Because of that, we have to call the police. And so this was actually a crime scene in here. The police came, they did an investigation. They didn't think anything of Edwin and Lillian because the doctor confirmed it was a very old bone. So the police took it, they sent it to the state police. Then we have no idea where the bone was. The state police claim they can't find it. But we would like that bone to come back to the house. We believe it belongs here. We did find one other bone down here in the basement when we were blocking up the tunnel. They found a leg bone, and that was sent down. We didn't let the police know about that one. We sent it down to Rob Conti, the owner. He's supposed to be sending it back up to us, but we want that to stay in the house. Edwin and Lillian used to obviously have a lot of experience, but when Edwin would see something, he would draw it. And I didn't show you the picture of the woman in white when we were in the men's parlor. But there was a spirit in the house. Her name is Bridget. She presents very tall, long flowing gown. Edwin, when he saw her a couple times, said she always looked a little distressed. And so he drew a picture of her. I'll show you that when we're investigating. But one day the neighbors called our caretaker, Marianne, and said, is there anyone in the house? And Marianne's like, nope, the house is locked up. And she's like, well, I gotta send you this picture. And this was of that window right there. And you can see the long flowing white gown, her hair. We believe that to be the woman in white.
Oh.
And I'm 6'4", and my head doesn't even touch the top of that. So both of the spirits down here so far, David and the woman white, have presented very big, except for this next spirit we're going to talk about. Vanessa Hudgens, who was a High School Musical, movie star, singer. She was doing a series out in Salem called Dead Hot, and it's actually on TV. It's on that strange Tubi channel. You can watch it there. You familiar with that channel? Tubi? Yeah. I think you can see it on that one. But they were supposed to primarily film out in Salem. They found out about the house. They came here. They met with Marion. Marion signed the contract and said, all right, let's head over to the house. And the producer said, oh, no. Only Vanessa, her co-host, and the filming crew are allowed in the house. And that was in the contract. Mary didn't know. She was a big Hollywood contract, you know, pages long. So she had to sit across the street while they were all over here. And they came down here, they did a Ouija session down here. We don't normally do Ouija sessions in the house. And so something spooked them, and they packaged it up and went back upstairs. But there's ways to open Ouija boards, ways to close them. They didn't close it out properly, and we think they conjured up our next spirit. We didn't know about them until a tour, and that's why I asked you to take several photos when you're taking pictures. There was a girl on a tour, and she took about 7 photos from the room we were just in to this room. She was just taking pictures as she walked. And she captured the spirit. She sent it to us the same night. As a matter of fact, within an hour of being here, they were across the street eating. She sent it over. And this was it. We call this spirit Stanley. He's not friendly looking at all. There was no one on the tour that looked like that. This last October, I was lucky enough she came back, and she was on one of my tours. She actually showed me her phone scroll of the pictures she took. She said her friend that she was with her immediately started bawling because she didn't want to come to the house to begin with. So this room here, where we're going, it's where the basement cistern is on the other side of that brick wall. It's all storage now. The dumbwaiter, basement dumbwaiter is on the wall, and then above the door here you can see the original bell system with the tag still on it.
Pretty interesting stuff I'm finding out.
We put the white ones on. The new owners put white ones in. The first week they had the house, and all of us stored that.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we're gonna head right upstairs. I send you down on your own, but I'll go up last. Just go right up to the main floor there. Go last, and we're gonna keep going up. I'll show you a picture of the wall in a little bit. We're gonna go in the first room on the right. So go up top stairs, go to your right. This is the red room. This room belonged to Susan Pierce, Mr. Pierce's first wife. Again, she died of a bacterial infection after being in the house for 2 weeks. And then eventually when him and Ellen got married, this became Ellen's room. And Ellen lived in this room. People will feel like tightness in their chest in this room. This closet here would have been Ellen's wash closet, so in the morning the servants would have brought out fresh hot water for her. She could wash up a little bit, get ready for the day. Ellen loved her perfume, she loved makeup, and so you'll see some of that stuff. Some of our investigators, I think, have started leaving her. We might have taken it away, but they've started leaving alcohol here for Ellen too, which is good for her. But this is Ellen's room. No speaker here on the wall. Mr. Pierce didn't feel the need to have to talk to her in the morning, and that's not because of anything. He just needed to talk to the people that were operating the house. Now, even though Mr. Pierce had his servants and there was staff that ran the house, Ellen still held a very prominent role here. She was back in the 1800s, she was the headmistress of the house. That was the title that Mr. Pierce's wife held. And so, while she had a staff of people that did all the work, she was still very much in charge of overseeing everything, and then obviously a lot of the party planning fell on Ellen. Ellen was very involved in the community, as was Mr. Pierce, so they both sat on several boards in town. As a matter of fact, Mr. Pierce's shop was so busy in the 1860s when the Civil War was happening, he was actually excused from having to go and fight, along with his sons and his staff. They all did not have to go fight, but Mr. Pierce did sit on a 4-person commission for the Army to recruit soldiers. So they thought, you know, it was very prominent in this area. He also sat on a committee in town that was responsible for building the very first elementary school in town. So Mr. Pierce had a lot of pull in the city of Gardner. So this was Ellen's room. We'll come over to the next room.
You take it.
This is the Mattie Conwell suite. And we talk a little bit about architecture again. Do you see like a stark contrast in this room? Nothing's consistent with the architecture, right? Remember, when Mr. Pierce and Susan first moved into the house, Frank was 23. They didn't need a head nanny, right? This was actually a servant's room. This was where the dumbwaiter came up. We had to turn it into a closet due to fireplace effects. This was where they would hold linens and flatware and plates. Under your foot right there, there's 2 bolts in the floor. That's what controlled the cistern system, so the servants could come in here, loosen those bolts up, release the water from the 3rd floor through the house all the way down through the basement. This was one of those speaking tubes that was originally meant, again, for the servant staff. Eventually it went to Mattie. When he met Ellen and they had the 2 boys, they had to make some changes to the house. They needed a nursery. So this became the head nanny's house, and the adjoining room became the nursery. So that's kind of how we can look at things and kind of determine what was happening in this room. This was a very small bedroom. If you look at the size of the other bedrooms, it just doesn't make sense. In the 90s, I mentioned kids were always breaking into the home and running around. Interestingly enough, of all the people that broke into the house, all of the hardware is still original. No one ever stole any of the hardware. They never did any real damage to the woodwork. Sure, there was some graffiti on the walls or whatnot. They would break out windows and throw rocks at windows, but structurally, they didn't really do any damage to the house, which was nice. We think the spirits have a lot of control over that. And we have a funny story. It's one of those full circle type stories. Our caretaker, Marion, has been the caretaker of this house for 20 years now. She met Edwin and Lillian when they first owned it, became friends. They traveled a lot. They needed someone they could trust to watch the house when they were gone. And so that's how Marion came to be part of this house. And so when she first got the job, she went home. She was all excited because this house is a Gardner landmark. I grew up here in Gardner. It's always had an element of lore to it. And so she was very excited to go home and tell her family that she was working now at the house in South Gardner. And her sister was like, ask your nephew about that house. And so she says, why, what's up with that house? And he's like, I'm not going in that house. I'm never going in that house again. And he told her about breaking into this house with his buddies when they were younger. And he came in one day and he was the first one through the basement window in the basement, ran up, hid right in this closet, watched his friends run by to go up to the 3rd floor. Everyone wants to go to the 3rd floor because you can get to the widow's peak. He could hear his friends running around up there, thought he had a great hiding spot. And then his story, he said he was pushed out of this closet and he heard "get out." And he ran downstairs. He left his friends upstairs and he's never returned. So he'd come into this house once since Marion's been the caretaker, and he wouldn't even come in this room. He walked by and goes, "That's the room," and then kept going. So, yeah. Interesting full story. We're gonna go right into the next room here.
Oh, nice creepy picture.
Haunted house.
Oh,
Haunted house. So this is the nursery. This would have actually probably been a guest bedroom. It has a sink and it had a bathroom, and so we think that maybe that this was probably a guest bedroom for the house. We did find a that burlap sack there in the wall. But they turned it into the nursery because it was gonna be right off the nanny room. And so this is where Stuart and Edward as babies were raised, in this room. I'll show you where Frank's room was. But when Edmund and William lived here, this was his home office in this room. This room actually gets the most natural light in the house. It's actually gorgeous in this room. But he tells a story about when he was working at his desk, and his desk was this way, so we could see out this door. And he saw a figure come up out of the floor, look at him, go out the door and disappear. And so he immediately drew it. And this was one of his drawings. This was April in 2009. This was the face he saw looking at him. And we have 2 of his drawings in the house. He gifted them to the house, so they stay here. A couple weeks later, he was across the street at the pizza shop, and he was telling the owner what he saw, and the owner was obviously showing me that very much into the paranormal, so he brought the picture over and showed him, and he said the shop owner just went completely white, because on the same night that Edwin saw this, the shop owner had someone die, have a cardiac event in his store, and he said he was an older man, scraggly hair, very thin, high cheekbones, looked just like that. So we think the portal kind of pulled the person through the house after he passed and went on. To your left as we go is the servants' stairs. Did that come up? This is Ellen's original safe to the house right here. This was locked. It's not a traditional number lock. It's actually a letter lock. And so Ken spent a whole day here trying to crack it because we didn't want someone to come in and drill it out to open it. We wanted to maintain its integrity. So he figured out the combination. There's only there's probably 2 people now that know the combination to it, so we don't lock it. But it's very heavy. This actually sold during the auction, when the auctioneer was in. And when the people that bought it came to get it, they couldn't move it out of the house. And they couldn't figure out how they were going to get it out. So the auctioneer had to buy it back. And so here it stays. We think it was just meant to be here. I had one tour that had the best theory I've heard. They said they probably took that window out and this window out and had a team of horses or oxen on one side and a ramp on the other, and they just pulled it up in and there it lives. I'm like, well, that makes the most sense. But go ahead and close that. Not all the way, but close it. Heavy, right? Yeah. So Mrs. Pierce would have kept probably her house documents, maybe some cash, some of her jewelry in there, whatnot. Mr. Pierce died in 1888. Ellen died in 1902. When she died in 1902, she left the house to her 2 boys. She didn't leave anything to Frank. Frank pretty much had the business at that time. So Frank was Susan and Mr. Pierce's son. But the boys weren't of age yet. So instead of making Frank, who was the executor, she ended up making her brother the executor. That upset Frank quite a bit because he was a distant relative of the family at that point, not a direct immediate family member. So I think Frank, in his mind, thought he should have been the executor until the 2 boys were old enough to get the property. But that wasn't the case. Oddly enough, a week after the house was signed over to Ellen's brother, he mysteriously disappeared. Nowhere to be found. And so the house went into probate at that point. And it was years and years and years of probate battle. Edward, the youngest son, ended up gaining the house. And he held it for as long as he could, but the depression was starting to hit. The company was taking lots of financial hits because people just weren't buying furniture. And so he struggled financially. And so what he had to do was turn this into an inn. And so it was an inn in the 1930s. And then it eventually became a rooming house, which is a lot less elaborate than an inn. in the 1960s. And we'll talk about the rooming house era. But tough for Edward and Frank and Stuart, who grew up as very prominent individuals in the home, to having to turn it into an inn and actually being servants of the house, right? Caring for it in that manner. All right, what room is right below us?
The men's parlor.
The men's parlor, yes. So this is Mr. Pierce's master bedroom. Fourth and final fireplace right here. It's green. Mr. Pierce did have his own bathroom. It's a walk-through bathroom there. And his office was directly off of the room here. And so again, always looking at his shop there. Mr. Pierce is known for kind of standing in the windows. He would often stand in the windows here and look out at a shop. This is an S.P.E.A. Pierce chair here. I don't know if the rocker is S.P.E.A. Pierce. I think that might be a gift. But this was his room. Notice he doesn't have a closet in here. The dresser's not original. That was a gift. We just put that in here. His butler would bring his clothes down to him every morning. So Mr. Pierce didn't need a closet. And even though Prohibition came much later, on the side of the mantle, that's what they call a Prohibition closet now. But it wasn't that one, Mr. Pierce was here, but a little closet there he could put some of his personal effects in. So you can see Mr. Pierce has the two speakers here, right? So one goes to his butler's room, one goes to Maddie's suite, and the other goes to the kitchen. So one of them goes to two places and one goes to one. Mr. Pierce's suite. This was where Edwin and Lillian also had their master bedroom. And this series of events led them to never coming upstairs again, just living on the first floor. Again, I mentioned they were night owls. Edwin was working late. Lillian said she wanted to go to bed, so she went into the bathroom, she got ready for bed. She came in, she laid down, and about 10-15 minutes after laying down, she started screaming. And so Edwin came running in, and she was laying in the bed, flat on her back, in the bed screaming. She said she can't move, something's holding her down. He tried to push her off the bed, she wasn't moving. Pulled the blankets, wasn't moving. He had to flip the mattress off. And when he did that, she came off, and she said, "That's it, I'm not living up here." And so they ended up moving their bedroom down to where their living room was, or where Mr. Pierce's dining room is. So they lived down there for quite a while, and a 2-week period of time had went by where they hadn't called Marion, or Marion hadn't heard from them. And so she came to the house to check on them. Their cars were in the driveway. Knocked on the door, no answer. She was the caretaker, so she had a key, so she let herself in. She said, well, maybe they went on vacation and forgot to let me know. I'll just go check. Said she opened the servants' stairs, and she just felt like she was walking into like thick air, like a house had been closed up forever. And she found both of them in their bedroom downstairs, and she was like, "What's going on?" And they said, "We've been sick. We apologize." So she said, "Let's go out and get some fresh air. Let's go sit on the porch." So she got them out on the porch, and they again were just saying they'd been sick. They apologized for not letting her know. She offered to get them some medicine if they needed medicine at the store. They were like, "No, we're all right." And we'll call you tomorrow. We'll set up, we'll go get something to eat or something. So Marion left, and they came back inside, and around 5 o'clock that night, they called Marion and said, "Our keys are on the counter, we're never coming back." They left the house, and they left the house abandoned for a long time. And so to help them pay their mortgage while they weren't living here, they told Marion, "Why don't you start bringing people through the house and showing them the house?" And that's how tour started. What's that?
What year was that?
That was in 2010, maybe? Yeah. Yep. 2010, maybe. Rob Conti bought it in 2015. So yeah, maybe 2010, because she'd been doing off the books tours for quite some time. Yep. So that was this room here. Edwin and Lillian, last people to live in the house. So this is the blue room. This would have been Frank's bedroom, again, because it overlooks the shop. This is where he would have lived when they moved into the house. Eventually Frank got older and got married and had a family of his own, and he actually lived in the house right next door here, that white house. Now the front part of that house is an exact duplicate of what was on this lot. That long, narrow, not the back part, but just the front part. That's what the house looked like. That was right there. In the 60s, I mentioned this was a rooming house, and so that's why there's all these numbers on the doors. Is everyone would rent a room, and they would have common areas like the bathrooms, the social areas downstairs, the kitchen would all be, common areas. This room belonged to a man by the name of Eino Sari. And Eino was a Finnish man. He was a World War II veteran. He was injured in the war. He had a metal plate in his head. He was a mechanic. And he was a heavy smoker, and he was an alcoholic. He drank, which is why we see so much. And that's not even all of it. We've hid most of the alcohol. At one point, you couldn't even see the top of his bureau. There was so much alcohol in there that people were leaving for him. Eino had a routine. He would wake up in the morning. He would go to work. He would come home. He would go across the street. The place next to the shop here is called the South Gardner Hotel. It's a bar room. It's been a bar room since it was built. It was built before this house was built. Really, the first places on the street were the shop, the bar, and the church. Those are the first buildings on this street. If you go back and look at all the property records. So we'd go across the street to the bar. He would drink, eat. He'd come home. He would drink some more, smoke. If the other people were lucky in the house, it was a shower night for Eino. Most often it wasn't, and so he would lay in bed, go to sleep. One night he had been working with some accelerant at his shop. It wasn't a shower night. He was drunk. He laid in bed, had one more cigarette, and he ended up catching himself on fire. And Eino burned to death right there in that bed. A lot of strange things. That was in 1863, I think April of his death certificate is on the bureau. That was a slat in the wall the fire department saved for us. Now at that point in time, the house was already 100 years old. Right? They started building it in 1863, and now we're 1963. Right? And so the fire was just contained to this section of the room right here. So these two upper walls and a little bit on the ceiling burnt, and then it put itself out. Now the South Gardner fire station is on the other side of this building over here. They're right there. In the short time it took them to come from the fire station to here, Eino had passed, and I think it says smoke inhalation, and the fire put itself out. Now a couple of strange things. The house, in theory, probably should have gone up at that point. It was a very old house. And I can only imagine it was not a great fire. But it didn't. And we think the spirits in the house probably, again, have more control over what's happening in this house than we know. The second part, and probably the more concerning part, is this was a rooming house. All of the other rooms were full of people, and no one came to Eino's rescue while he was burning in here. No one came in to check on him. And so, very sad. There's some theories out there that have to do with him and another person and a woman of the night and some competition there and whatnot. But this is Eino's room. This is a very active room. Eino was very active in this room. He was a very skilled tin tapper, and this was one of his pieces right here. And that is on loan to us from his niece. His niece comes and visits once a year and pays her respects to her uncle and lets us keep that there in his memory. Blue room soap, and then gas light. If we see these around, that's where they would have been a gas light. Go up, take it right up to the third floor by yourself. You got it. And then take it right at the top.
Okay. I know what you're right now.
Someone obviously had a very bad baby fetish.
First time she's been in Haunted I forced her here.
Alright, so we're on the third floor. We're going to look at architecture again. We come up here and we look and we see things are a lot plainer up here, right? Not as elegant. And that's how we know this was a servant space in here. Right, they have the higher mop boards. Their doors are a little bit plainer. This room right here, I was careful to open the door, is the third floor cistern. That's the original cistern system that would collect the water. And then it would drain down to the house. It's actually elevated off the floor there. Now remember I said that Mr. Pierce was very specific that he wanted a second Empire Victorian with a mansard roof. And that's because in the 1800s, houses were taxed by how many windows you had in the walls. But this is our roof line up here. So all these windows are technically in the roof. And so this was all non-taxable space up here. And the fourth floor of the shop was the same way. All on the roof. So very smart on his part. Servants from here, anywhere from, depending on, there was a huge fire in Gardner in the early 1900s. They lost all their roles. But there could have been anywhere from 5 to 15 servants at any given time living in these spaces here. Here belongs to Susan and Sarah. And Susan and Sarah were also servants here in the house. They were both young, 16, 17-year-old girls. And so I'm sure they did tasks like helping take care of the babies, or maybe some housekeeping and things like that. The question we always get, why would they have their own room? We're talking, let's talk about period time frames. So we're looking at the mid to late 1800s, a very male system. trying to be politically correct here. Basically, the girls were used for entertainment when Mr. Pierce was here with entertaining guests in his billiard room. So it was easier to pull the girls from a room like this as opposed to a room with 15 people in it, right? And so we believe one of the girls ended up getting pregnant once. If we investigate this room, actually anywhere in the house, we get a lot of talk about a baby. There's a lot of talk about a baby that we're trying to figure out. And we think one of the girls, it was either one of the girls or Maddie. We got some conflicting stuff one night. But there was a baby. Mr. Pierce didn't want the baby. So that something's there. So those are some things we're going to look at when we're investigating. I got a cool picture of this room. We believe this is Gordon. Usually after a tour like today, we'll empty out of the house. People will walk around the house and take pictures. And usually the only person in the house is the tour guide, and they're locking up or turning off lights. And so one day the tour was out on this driveway here, and they were taking pictures of the side of the house, and I caught that in this window. Yep, little face looking at him. So we think that was Gordon pulling around. There's really only one small child that comes into the house. That's my daughter. We bring her in when we're doing cleaning and stuff, and she runs around like she owns the place. The first time we brought her into the house, we just kept it on the first floor because we weren't really 100% sure, and she did fine. And then the second time we were coming, and I was bringing her here, and she asked if her cousins were going to be here. I'm like, well, who are your cousins? And she's like, the kids. And so I don't know if she saw something, but she knows there's some kids here. So
Well, that's great for her.
that's good for her. We have on video this camera here called her one time. We were up here working and she wanted to go down to the kitchen because she knows Miss Marion has freeze pops in the kitchen for her. And so she was about 3 steps down on the stairs and she stopped and she stared into this room for at least 30 seconds. Just stared into that room and then kept walking. And we asked her what she was doing and she said, I was tripping. But she was like completely still on the stairs, like staring. We were watching her. So, I don't know what she was looking at. She wouldn't tell us. Come right into this room here. I like to call this like the sneakiest, scariest room in the house. A lot of people don't do a lot of time investigating in here, but this was William's room. William was the butler. William had one purpose in the house, and that was to serve Mr. Pierce. He didn't get involved in any of the operations of the house. His job was just to be with Mr. Pierce and get Mr. Pierce what he needed it, when he needed it. And that could be anything from his business to personal effects in the house or to people. If Mr. Pierce said, hey, I have guests coming over tonight, I would like some girls, well, that would be William's job to do that. Behind the door, kind of an odd spot for it, I'm going to lock us in, is his speaking tube. Here. And then last row. This is the billiards room. So there would have never been a bed in here. This is where his pool table was. There's a picture of it right there on the table. A lot of pool happening up here, a lot of cards, games playing up here. We talked about how there was different ways for Mr. Pierce to entertain his guests while they were here in the house. This room was infamous for that. This closet here is known, if you've done any bit of research on YouTube or watched YouTube videos about the house or seen any of the investigators that come to the home. This is the room they speak about called the rape room there. We've had over like 250 mediums come through the house at this point. And a lot of them will come to this room. Some of them won't even cross the threshold to come to this room because they just get overwhelming feelings. We get things reported like blood, trauma, distress, death. We get a lot of talk about the baby here. We get a lot of concerning things. We will be doing a great deal of investigating here. We're going to do the S.P.E.C.E.A method. Does anyone know the S.P.E.C.E.A method? Yeah. So we will be blindfolding some people in the closet here and doing some stuff with that when we investigate. Very fun. I did a youth investigation probably a month ago now. It was the middle school girls softball team. They came in, and there was 5 girls and a couple of the parents. And so we put all the girls through the S.P.E.C.E.A method in here. There was one girl, after 3 minutes, I took her out of it because she just started like spurting out words that were very relevant to the house, and like her face was like starting to like get very serious and distraught, so I pulled her out of it after like 3 minutes. Because the other girls were getting random words here and there and whatnot. It was pretty normal, but she was very much a conduit. This is also the second portal in the house. I didn't show you the first, I'll show you when we get downstairs, but big portal here in this room. And then we'll have some time afterwards, but this door here leads up to the Widow's Peak, so we'll have some time while we're investigating and you can go and snap some photos. But let's go downstairs and get some equipment and we'll start investigating.
All sounds good to me.
I'm excited.
Finally, we're getting to the fun stuff. Paranormal investigating. paranormal investigating. It's going to be fun, especially in this house. Yep. Now we're going to get to the good part, paranormal investigating. And it should be even more fun than the Lizzie Borden house, because this house is definitely bigger than the Lizzie Borden house. So,
all right, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is put your phones on airplane mode.
Okay.
This is called a dead bell. Does anyone know what a dead bell is?
Yeah.
yep.
Ours is broken. As you can see, the turn it on and off, the thing is busted. It actually fell in. But it's a trigger device. We have a couple different trigger devices, but this is something that would have been very common in the time frame. So it's recognizable to the spirits, and so a lot of times we would try to get a response with it. Now, this has been broken for weeks. I don't know if you pay attention to the Facebook page, but Marion put up a picture the other day, or this is probably last week, of this bell going off. Just sitting in here. The bell goes off, you can hear it. So if we hear this while we're investigating, that's that 2% sheer terror. Right? Alright, so a couple of the things we're going to use. These are called grids. Are you familiar with anyone use a grid before? Yep. So basically what it does is it creates a grid on the wall. And if a shadow passes it, you'll just see something like that. And it's just one way. So I have two of those. This is a thermometer. So it'll show us any cold spots, hot spots, wherever we're investigating. I'm going to put things out here. People are going to be responsible for things. REM pods detect energy, which is why we need to put our cell phones on airplane mode. So it's just basically as energy comes close to this, it'll go off. It also has a thermometer on it, so if we're someplace and the temp drops, which is very indicative of the spirit in the area, this will alert us and let us know as well. And this is the same concept. It's a little different. Okay. Same concept, trigger toy, something kids might want to use. Same idea. Only goes off when energy comes near it. Alright, these are cat balls. The light goes off in a second, and the only way the light gets activated is if the ball moves. Put that there off. I'll show you. So you have to just push it or move it to get the light to go off again. Alright, so we'll have those.
And those are EMF detectors. Those other
These
things.
are EMF detectors, and I'll have 3 of these. And these are going to show spikes in energy. And let me turn my phone on. So I turn my airplane mode off, right? And you can see it's picking it up, which is why we turn our airplane mode on, so we won't do that. We can use those. These are good for talker responses. I have 3 of those. This thing isn't working. I have dowsing rods. I'm gonna bring them. Does everyone know what a dowsing rod is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have those exact ones.
What's that?
I have the exact ones.
You do? Yeah, these ones are great. They basically, originally dowsing rods were used to detect water, right? So if I hold these really still, out straight, without moving, I don't want to move them, and I walk towards this water source over here, you'll see they're going to cross as it starts to detect the water, right? And that's how people used to find wells, where to dig for wells. A lot of agencies will still do this. They'll still use dowsing rods to find water. We use them to talk with the spirits. Yes, no, energy will move them, and you'll know if you really have a strong connection with a spirit, because these will get hot. The energy in them. So we'll bring the dowsing rods, and this is the Estes method. So basically, This is an AM/FM radio, and we put it on a sweep rate, so it sweeps through the channels really fast. So all you really hear is because it's sweeping either forwards or backwards through the channels. And then if we can get any type of communication, all of a sudden it'll stop and you'll hear like a clear word, or some people were getting sentences. That one girl was like getting sentences, which is impossible because I had the sweep rate so fast. And so that's just spirit coming through. So they call these spirit boxes, but it's just really an AM/FM receiver. So what we do to kind of really get you into the elements is we'll put this really loud. So the only thing you can hear is this, and we'll blindfold you, right? We'll take one of your senses away, so then your other senses are even more heightened. And we try to do things. I've done back-to-back SDs up in the rape closet, and I've done it in Mr. Pierce's room, and we've got some amazing stuff. So, this is all stuff. Whatever you grab, you're responsible for whenever we go to a room. So whenever we move rooms, I'll be like, do you have your equipment? And they're responsible for grabbing whatever you pick up here. But let's all disperse that out, make sure that all goes with us. The other thing we're going to be doing is the mag light talk and response. Has anyone done that before? Yep. This house seems to really like this. So go ahead, grab some equipment, and we're going to start in the basement. Did anyone get any feelings in any rooms? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what room were you feeling?
The red room.
Mm-hmm.
The room where the fire, the blue
Mm-hmm.
room. I smelled like smoke in there.
Yeah.
And then Pierce's room, I smelled tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And I smelled a little bit of perfume upstairs.
Yeah.
And it was really heavy to breathe.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna go in Eno's room. Where were you feeling?
Oh, red room as well.
Red room as well.
Pressure.
Okay, we'll have to. Okay, we're gonna have
Oh
to
yeah,
give
I
you.
also had a headache on the left side.
In the basement.
Oh,
In the
And then
Remember
she
I
gave
told
me,
that
Yeah,
woman had a
that
headache
woman
too?
had a headache,
And I
yeah.
gave her a crystal, and I just gave her a crystal and
Okay.
it went away.
Yeah, that one woman. The minute we went down to the basement, she got an
She had
instant
the
headache.
worst migraine.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Now, did anyone smell ammonia when we were in the basement?
what does that smell?
So
like?
Yep.
Like cat litter?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. What room?
I don't remember which room, but I know I smelled it somewhere. Down there.
Sometimes Purdy's litter box was actually in the servants' David's room, which would have been under that. And sometimes Purdy, I think, is in the house, died here, but sometimes the litter box smell is so overwhelming in that room, and sometimes I don't smell it at all. So I didn't personally smell it when we were down there, but I'm glad someone else did. So all right, let's go grab some equipment. Doesn't matter what you grab, just remember whatever you grab you own for this trip around the house today. We should try to get everything, grab as much as we can.
And let the fun begin.
And we're gonna go down. We're going right to the kiln room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it begins. Another case for Dylan the Supernatural.
All right. Let's go in the kiln room.
So let's see what we can find.
All right, if anyone's down here with us, you can turn that red flashlight on. Let's make sure. Okay, yours is on. You're good. Your mouth is good. Can I steal someone of your mouth for you? I'm gonna put it over here. So when you're doing a mag light, you know what? We're gonna put this, because it's spookier, right here. So if someone's watching us from out there. The way that you do the mag light is you take it and you turn it till it's just about ready to turn on, but not quite all the way. And you leave it there, and you can see if I come over. All right, see how much it took for me to turn that on? And so sometimes we can get like yes, no responses from that. It's gonna be kind of hard. We'll have to keep an eye on the light. Usually when it's dark out, we can tell. We'll keep an eye on our EMF readers for spikes in energy. And then, is that on?
I'm watching the door.
You're watching the door? Perfect. All right. So, let me get a chair. Really, I'm just leaving you guys alone at this point.
Oh, gee, thanks. Appreciate it.
Are you recording too, or are you just taking pictures?
Just pictures.
Oh.
It's the light's on.
Oh, hi.
And this is crossing.
Hi.
Yep, there's a spirit in here with us, all right?
Welcome.
Interesting.
Can you turn that light on again?
Would really appreciate it.
Just get spooked. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The light was on.
If the light turned on, but on.
Did it?
When you
Yeah.
left, yeah.
Because I was just looking at it, there was a sound in that other room.
Oh, good for
When I
you.
went in there, I got distracted. Interesting. Any spikes in the EMFs?
No, there's the
Hi.
light.
Oh, yeah. Is that one on?
Yep.
Oh, I did.
It's just going.
I do this all the time. I shouldn't be this spooky.
It's okay. You want to talk to us? Can you turn on that light again if you want to talk?
There's no need to be shy, none of us bite.
I might.
Well, my little companions do, but they're not with me today. Because I usually bring my dogs along.
Gordon, if you're here with us, I know you like to follow groups around. Can you make one of these devices go off? You can either do the flashlight or go near one of the green lights.
Oh, hi. Gordon.
You use the rods to point to where you are in the room.
Thank you.
It's pointing this way. Looks like Gordon made a new friend.
Gordon, can you touch one of the cat balls around the room?
I have two right here.
I have two right here.
Is light on? Because that's pushed in.
No, they're not on. You gotta turn them on, sorry.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
one,
mine's
I think yours
on.
is off.
Mine are on.
this one's dead.
This one's pushed in but not working. Or I didn't.
There we go.
Or you get it.
This one's dead. Gordon, you wanna come in and touch one of these lights? Is that on?
This
Oh no.
Let's put that in the middle. extremely hot right now, but I don't know if anyone else just felt cold.
I'm freezing.
I was gonna say, I
Are you?
feel
It's
chilly.
it's
I mean,
hot.
not chilly, but.
Yeah.
I have like chills right now.
Do you?
I'm freezing, yeah.
Okay.
And it just told me to use the board, whatever that means.
Oh, you got the spirit?
I have my spirit app
Okay.
open, yeah.
Awesome. Since we've been down here, what have you got?
I've got in look, I'm here, house, hatred, branch, star for the second time in the basement, and use the board.
Does somebody want to come into the room with us?
Yep, come right on in and join the fun.
This is the.
Oh,
Up the lights on.
welcome to the room. Can you touch one of the cat balls around the room? If you. Oh,
Thank you. Can you touch another device for us?
any device works.
Did that just,
It's all like a little bit.
did it started to? Yeah.
Straighten it.
Go down the road.
I was gonna ask him on the house.
Can you cross the dowsing rods if Kathleen's in there?
I guess not.
Stanley, if you're out in the hall, can you touch that red light?
You just said if you're in the hall and it said hall on my device.
Did it?
Yep. As soon as you said that.
Hope that dowsing rod's turning, so I'll know what that means. If there's a spirit over there or not.
This is a big MO for this house. Especially more so on the third floor, but usually down here. Well, this stuff in here, but
Your
like
rod
on the
is
third
pointing
floor
over
or
there.
in the billiards room, it's almost like the spirits stay outside and watch to see what we're doing in there. Some people are afraid to go in that room. You can come really close to this music box.
Can we put one of the cat balls in that other doorway?
Absolutely.
Close.
That was not graceful.
I'm trying my
Oh,
best.
that's real dust.
Yeah.
That dust was never there before. Did you bring that in?
I did.
We're down here to learn more about you. If you want to come in and talk with us, we have a lot of devices we can use. You can come near the green lights, and they'll make different lights light up. You can use that red flashlight. Or you can touch one of the round balls on the floor.
So far, the spirit seems to like using that flashlight and the dowsing rod so far.
So the below.
Can you make the flashlight go off?
There you go.
Yep,
God.
it likes that flashlight.
Thank you. You turn it off now, step away from it. Thank you. Do you see all of the gifts in the cistern, the roses? Oh, you don't want to go over there? We need some validation to who we're talking with. So Gordon, if this is you, we need some other validation. Besides the flashlight, can you make one of the other devices go off? Well, there's a flashlight here, but
He loves that flashlight.
can you make the green light next to it flicker? Touch the green light. See if you can make that go off.
I feel like somebody's touching my shoulders.
You feel like that?
Yeah.
Could be. That's the dehumidifier.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. Make one of these cat balls go off.
Cat balls are really fun.
Can I put the cat ball over there somewhere?
Put things wherever you want.
I'm just really drawn to the staircase over here.
Oh, there's that light on.
You just said happy after I did that.
Temperature's still moving out there.
Are you in the doorway?
Hey, now you gotta come closer. Come. See, you know how to make the lights go off. Can you do a flashlight and that light? Oh, there we go. All right, there's a flashlight. Now can you come back over to the red light? Turn that off. There you go. Thank you.
This is haunted.
Oh, looks like he's being a good listener.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to hang out with us.
You can come in here if you want.
Well, the only thing is we can't tell if it's Gordon or not, or another.
Can you go over to the other door? The ball on the door, you can make that turn colors. Does anyone have any burning questions they want to ask? So we're going to do some yes/no type questions.
Is Frank here with us right now? Like the flashlight up?
Is Frank next door? Guess we need someone we're talking to.
Is Stanley nearby?
Stanley likes to hang out in this area.
About the word head.
Head. Never found any heads down here.
Well, not yet. You never know.
Um,
Oh.
I did get you came back right before that too.
Okay, step away from the flashlight. Thank you. So the other thing we talk about too is dimensions, and whether spirits live dimensionally or they live interdimensionally. So, for example, like if Mr. Pierce is in the house, does Mr. Pierce even know that Ain't No Sorry is here? Because that happened in two very different time periods, right? And so if we have an interdimensional type situation here, then spirits would all know who's in the house, but if it's dimensional, they might just be carrying around their daily duties and not know that there are spirits here from other time frames. See all the toys on the kiln? Gordon? See all those toys? Someone left a mint.
So do they have some fresh bread?
We have those mints all over the house. So, someone must have taken one from the bowl and brought it down here. We really want to see one of these green lights turn colors. Has the cat ball on the stairs done anything?
Not yet. I feel a lot of like heavy from that hallway though.
Yeah. Coming out of this blue box. And check it out. It'll make a noise.
Turn on the light if you're female.
What did it go on?
nice.
Yeah.
When you were giving the tour earlier and we came in this room, it said dark entity here.
Oh, in this room?
Yep. As soon as you walked in.
Nice.
Is that me? I think so.
Mental is horrible.
That's usually Marianne. She never texts me.
It's caffeine. You turn on the light if something bad happened to you here.
Bad feeling. Did you grab it or something?
I just said my death was horrible.
Really?
of the night energy.
Did you pass in this room? Or were you? Yeah, that's the question. I have a hard time seeing if it's on because of the glare and the Were you brought to this room after you had passed?
Are you afraid of this room?
Said we're listening.
Do you want us to leave?
Are you a boy? We're just trying to confirm who we're talking to. Did you work in this house?
Yep, looks like we got a shy ghost on our hands.
Are you stuck in this room?
There's no draft from the breeze out by that where that plastic wrap is on that window. There shouldn't be a breeze there, right? It's the glass.
Were you feeling a breeze?
No, I'm-
the
I'm
window's
hearing
not
the-
breathing.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have snowed.
I think-
Go upstairs.
Yep.
Go quiet.
I think it's safe to assume that the ghost that was in this room left.
All right, let's grab your equipment. I have someone cap all that doesn't work. I'm gonna drop it off. Cap all. Cap all on
That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it turned off at some point. It was on and then when I
Battery
clicked,
could be drained.
yeah.
no, I just clicked it. Like it was on when you set it down, right?
Yeah.
It like somebody turned it off.
Oh,
Well, so because I picked it up
yeah, they're not supposed to just go off.
They
All right, we're
turned
gonna
off
go,
the kettle.
we're going up to the third floor.
Okay?
Wait, which staircase are we?
To this pipe?
We're gonna go to the billiards room and do some STs.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. He said they'll be touching stuff.
Okay, up to the third floor now, I guess. Huh?
Victoria Ellen.
Well, looks like that doll's haunted.
Victoria Ellen. What's the ball there?
Well, that doll's definitely haunted because this thing went off at it. Well, there's definitely something with that doll, Victoria Ellen, because this thing went off when I went by it.
Really?
Yeah, and I pointed right at it and it lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, we love this. Yeah. I hear you're rocking here for the dead. We're getting
I'm gonna get the spitter box set up.
It's like more than being
Couple more chairs. Did that come here?
Yep, this house is definitely haunted.
Alright, so the REM pod, well, we got the REM pod. Let's put it right on the threshold. Chairs.
I need your help.
Grab yourself a chair. Grab a seat. Two more. Alright, I'll be right with you, okay? We'll get this set. We're not gonna shut the door on you.
Oh, thank God. I'm excited but scared at the same time.
So you can see how fast this sweeps through the channels. So it's almost impossible to hear anything.
You should see the kind they have at that Lizzie Borden house. So freaking loud.
Okay, hands out. Take them off. Hold on. Hold on, can you hear me?
What?
Take them off for a second. If you're in for too long, you'll feel me tapping your shoulder. That's me telling you to come out, okay?
Okay.
I can do that.
Yep.
So what she's gonna do is, if she hears a word or a sentence, you're gonna hear her say it out. This is on. That's correct. All right. We're here in the billiards room. We have an investigator in the closet using a spirit box, so you can talk to us through the spirit box. We were hoping to talk to someone who lived here or someone who worked here. We also have many devices. You guys have that? 1, 2, was there a third one? 3, perfect. Alright. We're trying to learn more about Susan and Sarah. If there's someone,
You see that?
if someone can tell us about Susan and Sarah.
Get out.
Get out. You what? Who were we speaking with before we leave? Did you work in this house? So loud. Are you getting anything?
So the bad spirit
Go
on the
outside.
pack and Billy,
What
and
is
then I just got Agony. She said get outside.
it? Okay, outside.
I have a lot of green, yellow over here that's
What are you pointing at?
because I can see the window from the other room. Look at the corner of this.
I had like a little like mist rush across my eyes.
Which way?
Left to right towards the door. Almost like a hand
Really?
motion towards the door.
Because if that's blowing air, it would have gone this way.
Right?
If you're out in the hall, please come in. It's rude to stand out in the hall and stare. Come in and join us.
We can play a round of chess.
So using my voice.
Using your voice in the spirit box. You have to speak louder.
Is there a secret about the closet?
You can speak to us through the spirit box in the closet. We'd like to know who we're talking with.
Would Billy be a nickname for William?
Bill, could be.
Because I did get the name Billy when we came over.
Electric.
Alexis. Who was Alexis? Is that your name?
Was it Alexis or elected?
You got elected.
Elected.
Said my body is close by.
Elected. Oh.
Are you by the bed?
Are you in the closet? I wonder if it's a female voice she's hearing. Yeah.
Are you the female that was brought to this room?
What was the purpose of the closet?
Can you point to where you are?
It said mayhem. After you asked what the closet was.
What kind of mayhem?
Can you stop pointing those at me?
Lights you.
Don't like that.
I'm just trying to put the closet in.
Temperature. Please come in here. Keep an eye for shadows.
Okay.
In that hallway.
About the word 12.
12?
What does the number 12 mean exactly? Is that how many spirits are in this room or up here?
Did anyone die at 12?
Not that we know of. I don't know if we don't know how old Gordon is. I have a picture.
Well, the time, maybe? 12? It's time.
Maybe reference to the mayhem.
Maybe.
He's the reason.
He's the reason.
He's the reason.
So I'm feeling like this is a female.
Me too.
Who's the reason for what?
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Very like hurt feeling.
Yeah.
Like sad.
Smoke.
Smoke.
Smoke, wasn't there a fire and one in the bedroom up here?
There was, yeah. No,
Great
not-
try.
What was that one?
Great try. And I got the name Harry on my device. Is Harry one of the guests that would come up to this room? It says I'm with family.
I was just about to ask if they were pregnant.
I was thinking that too,
Yeah,
to be honest
I
with
was
you.
just gonna ask that. Did you work in this house?
For her.
Was it
For her.
for her?
It's a little amazing.
She's good at this. I can do this for hours and not get a single word.
Are you not at rest from the mayhem?
I'm gonna turn my spirit power
I've used it the whole time.
on. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't turn mine on.
Who died of lung cancer?
Lung cancer was Ellen.
So maybe that's smoke, and you feel like there's a female.
Could be.
Maybe.
Smoke inhalation was just cause of death. He doesn't usually come up here though. He likes to stay in his room. He's a man of routine, so he doesn't walk around the house. Kind of stays in his space. Smoke could have also been like cigar smoke.
Yeah,
cigarette
tobacco smoke.
Tobacco in this room, because that was definitely happening in this room.
It smells like cigars over here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
smell
like over here, I
cigars.
smell like burning tobacco.
Before that.
Before that.
Alright, I'm gonna get her up. She's been in for like like 7 minutes. That's good.
Asked.
Awesome. What kind of a voice were you hearing?
A lot of male.
Was it both male and female?
Yeah, I feel like I was getting touched a lot on my head and shoulders again.
Yeah, that also went off quite a bit.
1900s.
Alright, who's next?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in charge of this? Can I hold this while I do it?
You won't be able to see it.
I know, but just so you guys can see it.
See where, like on your shoulders?
Yeah, like I felt pressure, like right here,
Yeah.
some right here, one right here, and a few right here, and a lot right here.
Really?
Yeah. Not very comfortable feeling.
Was it comfortable?
No, I'm not.
There's definitely a presence in that closet for sure.
Right.
How do I get away?
From what?
Are you a lady of the night?
Is that car here?
Maybe.
It is. I feel bad for the people that investigate at night because they get all these EVPs allegedly, but it's really just people being loud at the bar across the street.
Active duty.
Active duty.
Were you a soldier?
Which war?
The guy across the room was a veteran. He was a soldier.
That was Eno downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. We're trying to talk with someone that worked or lived in this house.
They crumble and they fall apart.
Like the family did with all the drama they had.
You've got to be careful on this.
It's a gram.
Oh, pentagram. It's a
Pentagram, that's like the mark of the devil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For what?
What did you do?
What do you think about global warming?
It sucks. What do you think about it?
It's irrelevant because of heavily politicized.
Yeah.
healthy. Healthy, I said.
Not in recent times.
Are you somebody that took girls into the closet?
head.
That's the second time I've done that, huh?
Are you touching my head in the closet?
I heard that's why people are getting headaches. Someone had something happen to their head.
Yeah, I like, for some reason, I got like my left temple really hurt, and I was like, there's some shot. Like, that was like my
I
first.
think the children said that. 'Cause every time I investigate, which is in Sarah's room, I get stuff about a bullet and shot. But there's no like lore or history about that in this house.
That we
That's
know
it.
of.
That I know, but I've gotten it several times in that room.
I got the name Betsy.
Betsy.
Betsy, did you go in the closet at some point?
Betsy.
Maybe like Elizabeth. or
Wait.
something.
For what? An answer?
I think Ellen's gonna make me Ellie.
Are you in the hallway?
You have to come in.
You have to come in to talk.
Please, come in.
Appreciate it if you do.
It says here.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the button.
Trouble.
Trouble.
Is the person
Are you
that
in
you
trouble?
met just you in trouble?
Run.
From what?
What are we running from? I'm not scared of anything.
Famous last words.
Don't say that.
Misconduct.
Was there misconduct in this closet you're sitting in?
Was there misconduct done on you exactly?
Honor.
Who are you honoring?
Maybe we have like a high status or something. We have to keep stuff hush hush.
Maybe it's more than one spirit we're talking to on that thing. So I notice how they keep giving like different random answers.
Shoes?
Shoes.
Whose shoes?
The butler's shoes are on the
His
chest
back.
in front of the bed.
His back?
That would be my guess. It's more than one spirit.
Did you kick people down?
I wonder if we point the thermometer towards the door where the
That's
temperature
why.
keeps going.
That's
If we can catch something. You want to swap chairs? So you can get a shot on the door?
So like when that was going
What do you
on, we
mean
tried to get it,
back?
that it didn't change necessarily.
Stay a while.
Next time? What are you gonna do next time?
Well, next time for what? What, you think you're gonna see us again?
Sounds like,
If you're in the hallway, can you move to the door frame?
Can you get yourself on the thermometer?
Who has the grid?
I think both the grids are downstairs.
Oh, I didn't take them, okay.
Who was touching me in the closet?
Provide.
Provide.
Provide, watch what I do. Just gotta watch what you're doing.
You don't leave this
Strong.
Gone to where?
profanity, sorry, it says fuck you.
Oh,
Spicy.
okay.
off.
Are you the one?
Where?
Yeah.
Like red.
Performance.
I'm not giving you. Was there a woman in this house that gave you performances?
A lot of assault in this room. One you could feel with the energy.
That should have gone on.
An hour.
What are you gonna do? What time is it?
You're in the hall. Put a red flashlight out there for you to touch.
In that door frame where it's the darkest color.
Yeah, like right there. It looks like a person.
Are you standing in the doorway of room 8?
Holy shit, it does. I can see it.
It does. Like it looks like a woman. Maybe it's wearing black.
That
It's
does
definitely
look like a
cold.
woman.
Definitely cold. That's so interesting.
I need to put, so I can put a chip in though, I don't have one now.
Is
You
it
just pull the trigger and it would snap the photo.
What do you want us to learn?
But it definitely is.
Some shadowy figures appearing on the infrared camera, so
Telling a woman to like relax, like take it, have a drink.
Which cap all went off when I was in the
No,
This one.
so far this is more fun than Lizzie boarding house.
It said no.
getting closer.
Part of.
What are you part of?
Looks like it's just standing there.
Society.
This one off.
Oh,
What went off?
the email.
Black, and I also got black hair.
Black hair.
I have black hair. Are you beside me at any point this time?
Could be a
Oh,
manifestation.
What do you want help with?
It's just definitely strange
What's your
shit.
name?
Let me just sweep the room real quick. Red, yellow, green. Let's roll blue.
What do you want help with?
Attention.
Don't touch me. You're not allowed to touch me. I don't give. I'm not coming back in the closet. I'm not going back in the closet.
It could just be that the door's just really cold.
It said. Touch
And
me.
my guess would be it's probably just like a shadow on the door.
Could be. I think that's the panel.
Oh, that's it.
See that gray panel there?
You only have one more minute.
Straight.
I'm not demonstrating. You said demonstrating. Nobody's demonstrating anything.
You've got to go.
You cannot touch anybody here without their permission.
Oh, hello.
The flashlight.
What is
What's
that
up?
there?
You know.
I don't want to know.
Over here.
A lot of male voice. Yeah. More direct responses.
You have some big.
With the more like hurtful stuff was women.
Oh, was it?
Like
Yeah,
the one
one-
that said, the
Flashlight.
words I just said.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff here
Even-
too.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that was not okay.
No, it said touch, and it said somebody touched me. It was like performance.
Things have been going
It
crazy.
said, when I said misconduct, it said sexual misconduct,
Yeah.
but it didn't say sexual.
Oh.
But it said in there, sexual in a male's voice and then misconduct in a woman's voice.
What, anyone else want to join?
I was.
I
I
said
can try it.
it said come
hard to
back.
hear.
And it said come
Yeah,
back.
never gotten
Yeah,
that.
I know. That's why I was like, that's crazy.
You gotta be careful.
Mom, you want to?
You wanna take this? No.
Can you tell me put this on my eyes?
Oh.
I'm gonna change the sweet break.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't change it, I just changed the direction.
That's a forward or backwards before.
Okay. I've heard of
You're good.
Mom approves. I don't approve of this ghost touching me anymore. If it keeps touching me, I'm gonna get saved from the jail.
I have Palo Santo in my pocket if you want me to see you probably.
Yes, please. 'Cause I already have things, so like 3 things with me from like friends' house that are with me at all times. That is. And then here probably doesn't have to. You wanna talk with us still?
Alright. Step away from the flashlight and come in here.
Yeah, you gotta come in here to speak to us.
You can cross the threshold. Turn the light on again if you weren't allowed in here. Servants. Okay, thank you. Do you know someone that was forced to come in here? If you do, turn the light on. I think we're talking to some service.
Lifelong?
I just got, that was her.
That was her.
That was her.
The thermometer just shut itself off.
Oh. Power taken. Probably the command.
Is the battery dead?
No,
No, I was gonna say it was pretty.
shut off and then I put it back on. Interesting. Do you not like me
You know it?
shooting towards
What she said?
Where
the
do we
doorway?
know?
You know
5.
There's 5 girls.
Oh, there's.
The flashlight's still going.
I'm telling you, the 3rd floor, and they just, no matter what room you're in, they just stand in the hall and watch.
You seem familiar.
You see what you know?
Who seems familiar?
Just said you seem familiar.
I want to eat first.
The flashlight's gone off again.
What happened?
That's what we're asking you. What do you mean? What happened? You're
Well,
supposed
we the ones doing the investigating or are the ghosts doing the investigating?
We're supposed to ask what happened, not you. Flip flop that. I don't think that was me. I didn't touch that. I just. Okay, it's probably me.
Many happy memories.
What?
Doesn't seem appropriate for this room.
No. No.
Maybe it's happy memories for somebody else.
No men?
Do you want no more men?
No, man. We're not here to hurt anyone, we just want to hear your story.
My way with you?
You're not having your way with anybody.
Oh, seems like a very demanding spirit.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody's touching your shoulder.
Window pane? Thank you very much.
For what?
The shade covers.
It says Black Death.
It's not blue, it's red, just like the rest of the window. This left side is cool. I think somebody's in here.
you tell us who's in the closet?
Pretty sure somebody's in that room.
That's the last camera. I don't know if it came in now.
Yeah, the one that actually shows like you like this copy?
Oh, there's a presence right here.
Oh.
Because this thing's going on and off.
In the closet?
Oh no, like right here.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
I thought someone was standing
Were
over
you on the
there.
vent? Did you say struggle?
What's that other light going over now? You still see it?
What was your name? Struggle.
Because on the right side, right?
What are you supposed to look for, Red?
Well, there was something off. Seemed like you went out. You'll see it's usually, or sometimes certain manifestations will be a very light yellow. Depending on how much heat. So like
Are you
this
still
whole,
getting
it's
some?
like this whole
Yeah.
thing could be red.
It's like you get a warning before you go into it, but
Shape.
Keeps going on and off. It's like around this area.
Maybe it's me. Like maybe they don't.
We're gonna do the second
Maybe they don't like
floor,
me.
But if you want to go up to the widow's peak and snap some photos, now's a great time to do it.
alright.
And we'll go down to the second floor.
Was the flashlight thing?
We have
It
the-
was.
Oh. This thing's going off.
The person who was the Estes was doing the Estes first. I don't like that. I still feel like a hand on my shoulder.
Are you coming up?
Yeah, I'll come up.
Come on.
If anybody wants to come to the
You
widow's peak,
said,
Yeah.
Yep, there's something right here.
look at that.
I'm not mapping it, whatever it is.
Look at that.
This EMF meter's
Yeah,
going off
crazy.
like
We haven't gotten any EMF responses.
Who's standing right here?
there's something right here. Because hers is going off too. Yep, so there's a presence right here.
The hallway is, where the hallway is.
The light, the flashlight went off.
Dude, just spike to red twice. I am criminal.
Where did both of them go on?
Yeah.
She spiked to red.
The flashlight's going on again. No, it's not.
Can you manifest yourself for this thermal camera?
I don't like how I kept feeling like.
Can you take shape?
One thing's for sure, I'm glad I booked a paranormal investigation here.
Good.
It's money well spent.
Yeah. This house is very active. When she comes down, we'll go up and snap some photos.
Going upstairs. It's a beautiful town, I'll say that.
Nothing can stop anybody from dying right now.
Having fun so far.
I'd rather not.
Can Anyone else want to go up before we?
Up to the.
Yep, before we go downstairs.
So how's everybody's day going?
It's hot up there. Just
Hot up there?
It's
Yeah.
very hot.
I was gonna ask that how else in the closet away from the headphones. But you all seem quiet, so. Camel, like, it feels like somebody's like this. Just not like a.
So we're gonna split up on the second floor into smaller groups between the red room, Mr. Pierce's room, and Ano Sari's room, the blue room.
Okay.
Okay, go into the entrance.
The red room. See if we can find a presence here in the red room. Oh.
Alright. So we can, who had this?
I was there.
Let's, you can break out in between master bedroom, Ano Sari's room, and the bedroom. So you can find the room where you wanna go.
Red room. Red room. Yeah, for sure. Let's go red room.
Mm-hmm.
Not even. I absolutely love this flipping wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
So this was her, because it's got all the perfumes and.
Yeah.
You guys gonna stay in here?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so what do you think?
You gotta raise the antenna. And whatever touches the antenna.
Is somebody in this room?
Try and shoot for
See,
that here.
watch, it won't happen because I'm here.
There's someone in this room. Please make your presence known.
This is a beautiful room. Can somebody show us you're here? Can you maybe light up this? Can you maybe light up this box?
Now, please don't be afraid to make your presence known.
Oh, please, let me turn it so I should be on the clock.
It's probably a good idea.
Would you please let us know that you're here?
We know you were very, very sick and you were laying in bed. Do you still feel weak and sick? Because if you do, please lay down. We want to try to help you if we can.
I don't think there's a presence in this room at all.
That's why I think I keep seeing yellow. There's like little gems. Alright.
No ghost in this room.
Can you touch the bed with the pillows? I'd greatly appreciate it if you would.
Can you show the skeptic you're here?
You don't have to be afraid of us. We will not hurt you.
We mean no harm at all.
We just are here to learn more about you and to try to understand that if you haven't moved on to the other side, how can we help you do that?
Are you making that little light flash?
That device was red last I had my thermal on it, but now it's blue. That's interesting. Are you trying to manifest in front of the REM pod? Put your hand near the sensor. See if one of those lights will go off. It'll make a beep, but don't be nervous by it. Temperature change. Yeah, you see how it makes that beeping sound? Can you make one of the lights go off?
One of the other lights?
They show different colors.
We're not trying to tease you, we just want to know that you're here with us. Can you make a different light shine?
Are we invading your private space? Is that why you're being so shy?
Did you live in this room? Are you a servant?
Can you make one of the lights go off if you were the person that lived in this room?
Did you live in this house at all? If you're still here with us, can you make the thing go off again?
Just give us some sort of sign that you're still here with us. With us, we mean you no harm, we just like to communicate.
Does anyone know Morse code?
I couldn't tell you what that means, but the device is even colder now than it was before. It's almost a black in color, so something very cold is touching it.
We don't know Morse code. Can you make one of the other lights go off?
Here, touch the wire, like this. See how it goes green? Can you do that?
That's what I'm doing, just checking on that.
Are you hiding under the bed because you're scared?
There's no need to be frightened of us, we mean you no harm. Just come out and properly introduce yourself. Or at least give us some sort of sign.
Do you like all this perfume? All the different bottles? Could you touch one on the bureau for us?
Would you touch that light again?
Can I take your temperature? Do you feel feverish?
There's no, I don't think this flat spot was here before, like someone just laid there. I don't think that was here before.
Yeah, it does look like it's a bit of a depression, isn't it? So he was laying there.
I could have sworn that wasn't like that when we first came in.
I agree. I don't remember anybody leaning on it either. So that's very plausible. Just a closet. So just a close-up.
Yep, there was a little bit of a presence in this room, but can't exactly say what.
Are you still in this room? Would you like the light if you're here?
If you would like us to leave, can you make the device make a noise? That is the lampshade, okay. I was wondering what that was. Do you like to look at yourself in the mirror? When you apply your makeup? Can you manifest yourself in the mirror? Our eyes can't see in that far of the spectrum. Is that you trying to manifest? To make yourself appear?
Maybe we should try a different room. Are we allowed to try a different room now?
I would think so. I appreciate it, and we thank you for allowing us to be in this room with you.
So we're exiting the red room.
You wanna go in Mr. Pierce's room? You guys wanna go in that room for a second? Sure.
Yeah. Isn't this like home?
Hey.
Oh, we're in Mr. Pierce's bedroom now.
Let's see. Let me put this by the door.
That's a cute. It's just
Don't know.
decorative.
Right. Do you want to try to scan with the thermometer?
I call bullshit.
Oh.
If somebody's here, do something a little bit more convincing than making a beep. Can I have one of your Jim Beam Black, huh? Nice. Oh, Smirnoff, please.
Okay, Mr. Pierce, if you're in this room with us, please make your presence known. Do more than just beep the button.
Nice cigar. Cigarettes.
All sorts of things.
You make the chandelier move? Even just a little?
Are you working, Mr. Pearson? Hard at work?
This is a beautiful chair. Did you make this?
So you love cigars.
Getting a weird spot right here on this wall.
Yeah, I see
It's
it.
about the size of a softball. It's, yeah, you're close to it now. A little more to the right. You should be right on top of it. It's interesting. 'Cause the rest of the wall is very cold, but that section of the wall is a little warmer. Interesting. Ooh, and the battery turned off again. Is that you, Mr. Pearson, that turned off my device? Do you not like me trying to find you? Ooh, what does that mean?
That's me.
Oh,
Probably.
No, it's not.
No?
No, I've never seen it do that. Is that you, Mr.
oh
Pearson?
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah. Just that tour guide came out of the...
What happens if it's a blue light flashing there?
Well,
So you see how, you know, what is...
yeah, it was red in the other room, but it's blue in here.
Is it because of that vent there blowing the AC over it? I can see if I can move it a little bit, see if that's changed anything.
We'll go downstairs in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let me
Put it in the chair. I'd be curious. Or there. Yeah, whatever.
Let's see.
I feel like we got more paranormal activity on the 3rd floor than
Oh, for sure.
on this
Yeah.
floor.
For sure. Definitely a hot spot. Your office used to
3rd
be in
floor
this
was the
room.
best. 2nd floor, not really feeling the vibe.
Oh, there's that blue light again. But there's no vent blowing on it this time.
Yeah, but maybe because I walked over it. I passed by. Yeah, see?
I don't know. I definitely they don't like this thermal imaging camera, I know that. They definitely don't like it. Interesting. They really must not like this device because they've turned it off multiple times.
Here on the 2nd floor, we've gotten a little bit of activity, but not much. I feel like the 3rd floor is like the real paranormal hot spot in this house so far. So far, I feel like there's more paranormal activity in this house than the Lizzie Borden house. No offense. So for all you who don't remember before, this is that S.P.E.C.E.A Haunted Victorian Mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts, where I am. Like I say, this house definitely is haunted. I'll probably be back here in the future, but I'll probably book an overnight paranormal investigation.
Alright, we can head down to the kitchen. Want to pull around there? Yeah. Make sure you have all your equipment. Make sure you get all your equipment.
Couto?
Now you see, this is what I encountered before.
Heck. I wonder if that doll has some sort of
She's cursed.
possible, I guess. And it's not detecting this either, right?
We're gonna bring all of our equipment into the kitchen and then we're gonna come onto the stairs and get a group photo.
Oh, yay.
And I think that's pretty much.
How's your guys' advice?
And I guess it's pretty much wrapping up the paranormal investigating for today.
So what I'm gonna do is, so we
I can
get
be in touch. I smoke perfume.
this is your,
Yeah, I smell a lot of perfume.
that's mine.
We should not get
There's,
Can you download that?
Yeah, you have to pay for it. That's how you get like the full method to use it.
alright, let's go over to the stairs and grab a photo. And then we're gonna spend some time writing in the guest book. Alright? So we're just gonna sit in layers.
Yeah. I'm trying to hit 5 feet though.
I was gonna.
Same. I'm just wearing.
Yep, I'm wearing platforms.
Climb up, have a seat.
Well, all my shoes are platforms. So.
Go a little bit, yeah, go up a little bit further. So we can get everybody alright. That's good. Look scared. Alright, now I'm gonna give you Victoria Ellen. Be very gentle with her.
I collect haunted dolls. I can.
Alright?
Yep. Oh, yep.
Both of you in this one. Hold Victoria. Alright. I'm gonna hop in, maybe. Well, last time I did this, I cut people off. Perfect. Alright. Mary Jo Chudley. I don't know if you follow her on Facebook. She's the one that made this and gifted this to us. So she's my favorite. She's creepy, but
That pretty much wraps up this paranormal investigation. I gotta say, this place is absolutely haunted.
Yep.
And definitely more activity than the Lizzie Borden house.
Claim to me, mother.
And that's a wrap for investigation from another investigation from from Dylan, the supernatural detective. And good night, everybody.